Wow, women are wrestling just continues to evolve, continues to improve, to grow. So much talent. When you think about the early days and just how it's changed and formulated is so cool. And it's on syndication, so you can watch it. So, like in South Florida, every Sunday night late at 1 a.m. on my 33 TV, the CW, you can check out Wow, Women are Wrestling. They're superheroes. And two talents that I'm really interested to talk to, Goldie Collins and Katarina Jinx. They have sort of a acting athletic background, now transitioning into Wild Women of Wrestling. And first, thank you both. I'll start it with Goldie. Goldie, how did you get involved with WoW?
I tried out for WoW now. It's been how many years? Definitely three. And I sort of was not tired of the dog world. I'll never grow tired of it, but I was ready to step into a spotlight of my own. I'd been showcasing, my beautiful companion Alexander prior, and I was ready to get into something competitive. As a performer, I was drawn to the entertainment aspect of pro wrestling. And so when I had the opportunity to try out, I took it. And the moment I stepped foot into our training facility, I was hooked. Whether or not they wanted me, I wanted them. And so it became quickly something that I intend to do for the rest of my life.
And Goldie, I noticed too the collar, which is
Yeah.
so apropos for you. And talk a
Always.
little bit too about the Collins Kennel Club and just your whole just involvement and also your character being involved with this and coming to show something that you like and bringing it to us.
Absolutely. So fans will recognize as I've mentioned, my companion, Alexander the Grand. He is an 120-ish pound golden doodle, just the most beautiful steed. And he inspired my love, really, and my, devotion to the sport of dog showing. And so the Collins Kennel Club is a very exclusive, elite, highly regarded training facility as well as club. You probably can't get in. Unfortunately, the wait list is very long, but you are welcome to join. It just may be another lifetime. Um, However, yeah, I use those loves of, showing why, in dog show you have so many aspects. It's the movement, it's how they're groomed, it's also just how they're bred. And I think that that is something that really translated into wrestling because I think what makes us all unique on the roster is how different we just naturally are. And it's like having all these different dog breeds competing for the top prize. And I just saw it and said, "Oh, I get this."
It's so cool in that regard because when you think about dog showing and you think about the Westminster Kennel Club and the big events and just showing the precision, and there's so much precision that's involved in pro wrestling. I want to say this, translate it to this. So going from that, and then also your alliance with Katarina Jinx, who hails from Salem, Massachusetts. I've got a little Boston representation here, Katarina. I don't know. It's not Salem, I know that. But what a unique character. And again, I want to know, Katarina, how did you get involved with WoW?
Well, I come from more of a stunt background. I was doing a lot of productions, doing a lot of fighting. I got into the stunt world. But as I was doing it, I was looking for that showmanship. I was looking for that um a place where I could not just show that I could do all these crazy things, but that I could compete in them and I can really show off what I could do. And I had my eye on WoW for quite a while. I watched it, I saw the women on it, and I was so entranced by what they were doing. But then I as I thought about it, I just went, they don't have anyone like me though. And I just thought this would be a nice hunting ground. So and I tried out for WoW, and this is going back a little bit further than Goldie. I tried out pre-pandemic, and I had gone in and I had started my training, and then of course the pandemic happened. So I was kind of put on ice for a little bit of time, but then I got my opportunity, and that was a lot of fun. And of course, I met Goldie halfway through my debut season, and the rest is history.
You and Goldie make such an eclectic mix, Katarina. And I'm looking at Goldie and then I'm looking at you. And Goldie mentioned it, uniqueness. And for you, what inspires this? What inspires Katarina Jinx and what we're seeing?
Well, I've always had a very feline-esque personality. I've always been a little bit of an introvert. Um, and I was always drawn to cats. It was one of those things. I would go outside, and I lived in a definitely more rural area, so a lot of trees. And I would go outside, and I would just hang out with any animals that were around, and mostly the stray cats. They would come up to me, and I would sit with them for hours. And I just found this kinship with them. You know, it was very, um, it was a very, oh, not spiritual, but almost like a spiritual bond with them. It was this loner understanding another loner. Just one without fur. I was a shiny cat. So I've always had that movement quality and personality about me. So when I joined the Rowl roster, it became even more apparent in that I the way I would move in training, the way I would always try to go for a submission versus trying to do something that was all powerful. And that's where, and that's, I think, a lot of where Goldie and I really blended well together, because she is such a strong, so strong in her movements, and she has the power and the strength to do these big movements. Meanwhile, I'm going to definitely try to break people down and submit them. And that's why our tag works so well.
It's also interesting, and listening to both of you, I see Goldie. First time I'm meeting you two, I've seen on TV, on syndication here, My 33 TV, the CW in South Florida. But it's interesting because with Goldie, and Katarina, you mentioned this, an introvert. Goldie seems more like an extrovert, that the other way, and you're this way, and you're bringing that all together. But I think, tell me if I'm right, I'm wrong. I don't know where I'm going with this as far as this part of it, Katerina. Goldie, being an extrovert, I think would be comfortable being out there and all. But you, as an introvert, I would think have to work at it more. How do you do that? How do you get to where, okay, I'm ready. Now I'm going to go here. I'm going to bring this to everybody. How do you deal with that and go with it?
I think the competitiveness is the thing that really pushes me even as an introvert. And Goldie will know before we go out there, she's calm, collected, and just all smiles, and I'm back there panicking. It's just this back and forth, and she's just like, "We're good. We're fine. We have this." And I'm just like, "Are you sure? Where are we? What's going on?" And it's this weird dynamic. Anyone who's back there just looks at us like we're crazy. But ultimately, what really does it is when we're able to settle into the, I'm not, yes, we're going out and we are in front of a whole bunch of people and who want to be entertained, and of course we want to entertain them. But really what it comes down to for me is I'm going out there to hunt something. I'm going in there and I'm taking down my prey. And everything else just fades away.
Mhm.
Goldie, being part of, and tell me again, being a part of the acting world,
Yeah.
how does that transcend itself to that? Because if you're involved in theater, if you're involved in singing, if any type of entertainment medium, and then athleticism, sports entertainment, athleticism, wow. You go out there, do you sort of sometimes, because crowd reaction is important in what you do, and listening to the crowd is important. But when
Hmm.
you're on the stage and you're performing in a different avenue, that may be something you don't really want. You want to just focus on what you're to do
Yeah.
next. How did that transpire for you?
It's interesting you say that. There is a lot of benefit I think that comes with my stage training. I am used to a live audience. I am used to performing in front of them and feeling that pressure of like needing to entertain. However, the little bit of difference is that this is a fight. It's not just, song and dance. And so while I can like do a time step and belt and do all that fun stuff and entertain someone and ensure that they're going to leave happy, I actually have to fight someone in this arena. So it is definitely the pressure is on. I think I am able to silence some of the nerves because, like I said, I'm comfortable in front of a crowd. However, I think the intensity, like Katarina was saying, is there. The second we are walking out, yes, I am the greatest showman, period. Like that is, there's no doubt. But I'm coming in there to show everyone in this arena that I'm also the most fierce competitor that is on the roster. So I'm gonna come, I'm gonna wave, I'm gonna do my thing, but there is, serious athleticism fight behind that, Um, it's not just a show. So, yeah.
And in that realm, Goldie, do you have some sort of too athletic background? Because I know you have the theater background and this music background, but I'm curious if you had any athleticism, even growing up.
Totally. Yeah, I played every sport growing up, but my main sport was volleyball. Yeah, was a volleyball player and a dancer as well then. So most of my life did those things and then later in life developed a love for weightlifting before I started all of this and was already like in the gym kind of looking for an outlet athletically and then found pro wrestling.
What has the athleticism part of this been like? Because somebody that doesn't know much about pro wrestling, when they first get into it, it's an eye opener.
Yeah. Um, it is wrestling is real. The toll it takes on your body is insane. You have to be so strong and so flexible at the same time while maintaining like the agility, but also just being able to like have the brute strength to manhandle someone. So it's a very like it's such a dynamic sport and there's so many different avenues you can take with how you intend to fight in it. But for the most part, I mean, I think while we do have differences in our styles, I think we have a similarity in our like understanding of our bodies and how we move them from being dancers. And I think that translates really well to being fighters.
Katarina, for you, what was it like just transitioning to this? This was something that was this something very new to you?
It was different. So, like Goldie said, I came from a dance background, so I had that physicality. I never did sports growing up, and that was a big difference. I knew dance, so I knew that type of movement, which is one of the reasons why I think I move the way I do. That's very feline esque. But from going into stunts, I understood the impact and taking these hard hits, falling on concrete. I understood jumping out of buildings. I understood the physical toll that came with that. But the biggest difference for me from going from that was I do a take, I get a moment, I do another take. I might get 4 takes in and then I'm done. And it might be an isolated thing. So it's like, okay, I do a high fall. Okay, I climb back up, I do another one. But that's it. It wasn't this you're high energy while you're in the take. And then you're done. And then you can just and chill. With this, you're not just taking these massive impacts, but it's this. I feel like it's a perfect blend between stunt work and like MMA fighting.
Mhm.
It's so intense. You are in there, and especially being in Vegas, you're out there, and it's like the moment you go out there, you're cotton mouth and tired, and your heart rate is just pounding the entire time. And no matter how long the match goes on for, you're exhausted no matter what. And I know how to take an impact, but having to take an impact and then get on my feet and keep going is such a different thing. And I think the only people who would understand it are other wrestlers or MMA fighters.
Yeah.
In talking about the stunt work, and that is fascinating to me. Here's the thing: when you're doing stunt work, Nobody knows it's you except for you and those that are doing
Uh-huh.
that take.
Yep.
But here, not only are you doing the stunt work, the physical activity, but now everyone knows it's you. How do you deal with that? How do you watch yourself afterwards? I'm sure you're both tough on yourselves, but Katarina, first for you, because of the stunt world, what is that like for you?
I mean, it's it is a bit of this because it's a fight. There's only you're so in that moment, and it's like you might have a thousand different plans, and they all go out the window because it all depends on what the other person does and how they react to if I do a move and they evade me, well, what next? Um, so it's always like we're so in the moment during, and then afterwards it becomes this, well, what could I have done instead? Where could I have taken that that would have maybe been a faster conclusion, or maybe the win if we had lost. So we do get very hard on ourselves in that, and it's a lot of studying, it's a lot of um, understanding your opponents, which if you're fighting somebody who's an unknown, you don't know what to expect. With some of our girls who are on the roster, we can study them, we can watch their matches, see what they do, and make a plan. But honestly, every planning goes out the window the moment you're in
Yeah.
that ring. There's no planning, and so yeah, we get very hard on ourselves with that.
And Goldie, with that regard, I would think impromptu. When you're in acting and doing those classes where they just throw something at you and you just got to do
Mhm.
it, I would think that lends itself to helping in situations like this because you never know what's going to happen. And then you just got to roll with something and go with it.
Absolutely. I am a studied improver. I yes and through everything. And that helps in every aspect of life, including pro wrestling. I think that what Katarina was mentioning about, using it as study, using it for review, 100%. And I think that in the moment, some of those skills that I've learned from, acting, comedy, whatever kind of entertainment I've learned is that, yeah, it's you stay so in the moment and you kind of just do the next best thing you can.
I see your friend with you. I see your friend with you. Come
He
on.
loves to steal the spotlight. Hi, Alexander. He's so
All
big he takes up the whole frame. So
right.
big.
He knows where that camera is. He wants in there. Step
He finds
aside.
it.
Hey, listen, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you both so much. Think, just continue doing what you're doing. Your talents are extraordinary. Just what you both bring to the table to Wild Women in Wrestling, it's just tremendous. We'll do that. I'll wrap it up with this. I think it's so cool. David McLean, who started Gorgeous Lady of Wrestling way back when, and is now with WoW, and it just the whole thing is just incredible. And Jeannie Buss, Los Angeles Lakers, formerly or still doing things with the Lakers, and a big thing. She's involved greatly with this. You guys are on Fremont Street in Vegas. Those look so cool outside. That's great. But what's this? Hey, are you both now Lakers fans? Are you both Lakers fans? That's what I'm asking to wrap this.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Of course, I'm a
absolutely.
Lakers fan.
Katarina.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah. Thank you both so much.
Of course.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having us.